Hello everyone, welcome back to the Holding Crypto channel. It's still Tuesday, June 10th, 2025, and we're going to take a look at the cryptocurrency XRP. We're pushing, are we headed to the moon? Or do we still have some key levels that will block us? There might be something there. Anyway, we're going to look at all of that in detail, stop the suspense. We're starting this video, of course. I remind everyone that everything I'm going to say is in no way financial advice. It's up to you to do your own research, and don't forget that cryptocurrency trading involves risks of partial or major loss. Let's start with our XRP. There have been quite a few good news items that have come out these past few days. As you know, in my morning videos, I always analyze the news, and we've seen quite a bit of good news regarding XRP. Well, we've had something interesting these past few days. We've had a nice bullish push. So, I'm going to analyze XRP first from a medium-term perspective, and we'll finish with a more long-term view. In any case, from a medium-term perspective, I told you that we were in a rebound zone. Well, it didn't miss. We perfectly rebounded in the rebound zone, as its name indicates, and we regained strength. So, what's happening concretely? We had drawn this bearish trend line together in my previous videos, and indeed, as long as we were below this line, you understood, we were blocked. We touched the line. Unfortunately, we couldn't break it. You see, we came to test it several times, and we didn't manage to break it except, well, here on Sunday, June 8th, so that was this past Sunday. As you can see, we managed to break this line, and what's more, ladies and gentlemen, with volume. We had a little volume on it. We had a movement on the breakout with still a movement of about plus, what was it? Plus 4%, or even if we take the wick, plus 5%. But, well, we closed at plus 4%, so it's already a very, very nice breakout. I've already taught you, but when we have ridiculous breakouts, meaning they close just above, we can't really take that seriously. Here we have a very nice breakout, so indeed it shows us that the XRP crypto has regained strength and wants to go for higher points. Indeed, we had also detected it thanks to the RSI. We were able to detect that we were entering an interesting zone where, in fact, we were blocked here by the yellow line. As you can see, it prevented us from going higher, and so we had detected that if we broke through, we could start pushing again. We had also seen this MACD momentum as another indicator. We had seen that it was declining on the bears side. As you can see, for the past 2 days, the bulls have regained strength and recovered the momentum. So, indeed, it's thanks to these indicators that we were able to detect that we were potentially on a nice bottom and that we could regain strength in the coming days. It didn't miss. We had to wait 8 days to get this bullish push. Perfect. With that being said, first of all, I hope you already have interesting profits for those who traded. Indeed, that was pretty good. After all, on the breakout, look. Since the breakout, so since Sunday, we've still gained about 7%. It's worth noting, it's pretty good. So, we already have 7% in the pocket. Yes, but can we continue to go up? That's the real question. We don't want to settle for that. We want to go higher. So, I have good and bad news. The bad news isn't really bad news, but let's say we're going to have a blocking point. We'll see that in the second part of the video because it will be on the long-term vision. We'll see together that there's a small blocking point, but for now, medium term, what do we have? Well, thanks to Sunday's close, as you can see, we broke and thus recovered the moving average ribbon. And that, in a medium-term view, is excellent news. You know the drill. When we're above the moving average ribbon, we're bullish. When we're below, we're bearish. It's as simple as that. You see, we lost the ribbon here. From the moment we lost it, we fell. We regained the moving average ribbon. Logically, it's true that we could continue to go up. We could continue to go for the resistances. So, precisely, we have a famous one. It's there, the famous one at 2.3771. That's an important resistance that will be above our heads. And if we break this resistance, then, of course, given that we are in a large sideways phase for several weeks now, even several months, I would say, in reality, we started the range here in December. We had 2 attempts to break out, one here, even 3, 2 and 3. And in the end, we are still within the same range. So indeed, if we break 2.3771, of course, our target would be to go for the upper part of the range here. And so this upper part of the range is located at 2.6064. So these are the key levels to aim for in case of continued rise. Perfect. We saw earlier that the RSI is pretty good. In fact, currently, we are on an RSI of 52. It should be noted that we were on an RSI of 37. We are at 52, having already started the bullish push. We are still on a relatively low RSI. Look, I remind you that the purple box you see here is the retracement zone. We are still far from it. We have a lot of room if we need to push more. So, we are on a momentum controlled by the bulls. We are on a relatively low RSI. We are above the moving average ribbon, and we have broken the bearish trend line. We currently have 4 bullish signals that show us that the XRP crypto could indeed regain strength. Yes, but it's not that simple. We would like it to be that simple, but it's not. We saw that the medium-term vision is pretty good with what we just said. But from a slightly longer-term perspective, is it also good there? Well, look, this is where I told you earlier that we have a blocking point. Remember, when I told you about the blocking point, well, unfortunately, we are at that blocking point. Yes, as much as in the medium-term view, we broke the bearish trend line. As you can see, and we regained strength, we pumped. But if we look at it from a long-term perspective, well, unfortunately, we are currently rejected by this bearish trend line. As you can see here, we are rejected. We have a key level that we will have to break at 2.3261, and that is the weekly key level. So, in the medium term, we broke through. In the weekly long-term view, however, it's not broken. Be careful with that. Be careful with that. So that means that, indeed, in the medium term, we can still have a little more bullish push, as we saw earlier. But in any case, at 2.3261, we have an extremely important resistance that we will have to break. So there are also, well, that's the blocking point. We've seen it. Now, there are still 2 good pieces of news. Maybe even, yes, that's it exactly. There are 2 good pieces of news, even 3. The first good news is that we've seen it since now. Here, the peak, April 14th, 2025, the peak of the bear momentum. We've been falling since that peak. As you can see, we were on big candles there, and behind, we have smaller and smaller candles on the MACD side. So, little by little, the bears are losing strength, but be careful. Be careful. Look, they are still in long-term control. Be careful with that. Now, what's good is that, okay, the bears are in control, but look, at no point did we break our range downwards. While the bears are in control, they haven't managed, for now at least, the bears lost this battle since here. So, since March 3rd, 2025, the bears are still in control, but since March 3rd, they haven't won their battle. That is to say, for the bears to win their battle, they would have had to break the range downwards and therefore break 1.9113. Here, at no point did we make attempts, but at no point did we make a close below. The bears have lost the battle for now. And even better than that, look at the chart. We have here the appearance of a cup with a small handle on the side. Again, it's not validated since we are blocked by the bearish trend line, but a cup with a handle, I remind you, is a bullish reversal chart pattern. So, if we manage to break this bearish trend line, we could form the cup with a handle, and why not try to validate it? I'm going to give you the key levels right away. Weekly, the key level that will need to be broken is here. We have a resistance at 2.4439. This is the neckline of the cup and handle pattern. If we validate this cup and handle, of course, we are not naive. We were here at the bottom of the range. If we validate the cup and handle, which, moreover, the key level corresponds to the middle of the range, of course, the goal would be to go for the top of the range, of course, we will have a top of the range target at 3.0213. Now, beware, along the way, we will still have 3 resistances. We will have one at 2.5775, one at 2.6444, and another at 2.8312 before going for the top of the range. But in any case, that's what could await us if we manage to break this bearish trend line. That could indeed be a trigger for another small bullish rally. And I remind you that the Bollinger Bands on XRP are extremely tight. Look at that. These Bollinger Bands are very nice. They are very nice. And the more they tighten even more, the more beautiful it will be. And if we can, of course, break this range upwards with the good tightening of the Bollinger Bands, then, in that case, of course, you understood, XRP could very quickly, we understand each other. It's a long-term view, but we could potentially go for $4, $5, or even $6. These will indeed be targets to aim for if we manage to break this range upwards in the coming weeks. We're not there yet. Again, we're not boasting, we're in cryptocurrency. We know that we need to remain extremely cautious. We see that beautiful things are starting to materialize. Beware, these beautiful things are not yet validated for now. I've explained what key levels will need to be broken to validate all these beautiful things that are slowly materializing. And of course, we are cautious. We are in cryptocurrency. We are cautious. We don't gamble. We're not here to. No, we play with money. Whether we play with 10 euros or 1,000 euros or more, it's our money. We all work every day. We all wake up at 6 a.m. every day. We all come home at 6 p.m. or even later. We all work. We cannot afford to lose the slightest sentiment in cryptocurrency. We are cautious. In any case, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, share as much as possible. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to receive 1, 2 to 3 videos every day concerning Bitcoin and altcoins. Have a great day. See you later. Ciao. Ciao.